Let me be honest, most men aren't prepared to deal with this. Women don't care about how much you sacrifice. They don't measure loyalty by what you give. And they don't stay with you just because you treat them well. That's not how women understand loyalty. In fact, the more a man tries to earn loyalty, the faster he loses it. And tonight, I'll explain why in detail. Women are loyal while most men aren't. Follow along, because once you understand this, relationships won't be complicated. Before we begin, a quick note. If you've benefited from my videos and would like to support this work, you can join my paid support community on Facebook, send stars, or join my paid support community on my YouTube channel. Your support allows me to continue producing valuable content, and I am truly grateful. Now let's move on. The lie most men learn is simple. Be kind, supportive, do more, give more, and she'll stay. Men, invest your time, effort, attention, money, and emotional energy. It seems to work for a while. You appreciate it, and she's happy. She benefits from it. But appreciation isn't loyalty, nor is it comfort. Here's the first psychological truth. Women don't commit to effort, but to emotional connection. Your feelings for her are more important than anything you do. You can give her everything, but if the emotional connection is absent, her bond with you is severed. Do something uncomfortable for yourself. Have you ever noticed that some men put in minimal effort, yet women still worry about it, while other men do everything perfectly and still cheat? This isn't just a coincidence, it's a psychological issue. Here's the fundamental truth about female fidelity. Women are faithful because men make them feel good about themselves. It's not about his effort, his consistency, or even his loyalty. Women's loyalty is emotional, not logical. And this is where most men lose their grip. They believe loyalty is earned by proving their worth. But female psychology doesn't work that way. When a man starts compromising to prove his loyalty, he's revealing a fear of loss. Fear also kills attraction. Think about what you're conveying to others. When you constantly try to prove your worth, you stop believing you're worthless. You convince yourself you need to compensate. You convince yourself you're afraid of losing touch, that you'll disappear. Women understand this, even if they don't say so. Women remain loyal to the man who controls their emotional attraction. So, when do women leave? Here's what most people don't say. Women don't leave when men are bad, but when a man is emotionally drained, when he responds instead of leading, when he seeks acceptance instead of setting boundaries, when he over-explains instead of being consistent, this is where loyalty begins to emerge. I've seen it countless times. The person who was once confident gradually develops a sense of self-assurance. They start to ask, "Are we okay?" Often, after every minor disagreement, they need reassurance. They apologize for things that shouldn't be apologized for, and slowly, almost imperceptibly, they begin to drift apart. Not because she's cruel, nor because she's ungrateful, but because the emotional experience has changed. And this is what frightens most men, the power of identity. Women are loyal to their identity, not to their personality, their generosity, or their efforts. Identity, not to who you are or what you do. If your identity is firmly established, your actions don't matter much. But if it's weak, no action will be of any use. This is why women are loyal to men who avoid betrayal, men who don't beg, don't become overly attached, and don't succumb to emotions. This quality demonstrates a high intrinsic value. Loyalty always comes from the top, not from the bottom. This is a difficult truth to accept. We tend to believe that kindness is enough, that treating others well automatically generates loyalty. But human psychology is more complex. Respect is not built on what you offer others, but on the value you place on yourself. And this leads us to the duty of loyalty. A woman may feel grateful to you, comfortable with you, and even feel indebted to you, yet she may not be faithful. This is because faithfulness requires respect, and respect doesn't stem from giving, but from self-control. Understand this difference well. Commitment feels like a debt to her, while faithfulness feels like an obligation. When a woman keeps her promises, she expects results, appreciates what she has done, and balances the sense of obligation with resentment. But when a woman is truly loyal, there's no comparison. She stays because something special is happening. She stays for who you are, not for what you offer. Here's another truth, the principle of time. Women are loyal for the moment. As a man progresses in life, she becomes attracted to him. When a woman stops growing, she begins to lose emotional connection. Her heart is drawn to the present. Who you are now is more important than who you were. This is why stagnation kills relationships, even disagreements, distance, or conflict. Stagnation. When a man loses his bearings, he loses emotional connection. Loyalty fades away silently. Watch the relationships I've seen crumble. How many relationships ended? Because the man stopped growing. He became complacent. He stopped striving for goals. He stopped challenging himself. And gradually, he began to look at the woman he once admired differently. The spark of love didn't die because he made a mistake. It died because she was no longer anything special. Now, listen carefully. How a man handles loss is crucial. Women are particularly attuned to a man's reactions when problems arise. When a conflict erupts and emotions run high, does he stand his ground or crumble? A man who can accept loss without losing his temper is irreplaceable. Emotional self-control is rare. Most men are shocked by the prospect of loss and react accordingly. They try to control desperately or violently. But a man who says, "I care about you, but I'm not begging," makes a profound impression. There's a subtle but powerful point here. Women don't test men intentionally. They test them emotionally. They back down a little, becoming more reserved. They create distance, not to distance themselves from you, but to see your insecurity. Your reaction determines everything. If you rush, they'll fall. If you explain, they'll fall. If you panic, they'll fall. But if you stay focused, calm, and composed, and ignore the outcome, their loyalty will only grow. Now, let's talk about unfaithful women. Constant presence, emotional attachment, pleasing others, and unbridled selfishness. These qualities make you feel secure. But security without attraction breeds indifference, and indifference is the beginning of the end. This is where good men lose good women. They mistake constant presence for love and the absence of other interests for commitment. You think this agreement demonstrates compatibility, but in reality, it reveals a loss of self. It's impossible to be honest with yourself. This is the biggest mistake men make, confusing love with loyalty. Love is emotional, while loyalty is based on respect. A woman might love a man and leave him, but she will find it extremely difficult to leave a man who respects her. Love changes. It rises and falls depending on feelings and circumstances. Respect, however, is fundamental and essential. A woman may temporarily stop feeling love, but if respect persists, she can stop feeling it too. So, to whom are women truly loyal? To emotional strength, self-respect, guidance, identity, and the feeling they experience in a man's presence, not to what he does for them. Here's why silence is sometimes more effective than words, and why distancing yourself is more powerful than chasing after someone. Let me explain why self-control is more powerful than emotional abuse. It's not about coldness, deceit, or indifference. It's about self-control. People who don't demonstrate their own worth force others to feel it. True strength isn't aggression. It's not about control nor emotional punishment. True power lies in knowing your own worth deeply and not needing permission to prove it. When you stop trying to earn loyalty and start appreciating it, everything changes. People listen to you more, respect you more, and understand you better. Loyalty becomes innate, not imposed. If you've ever wondered why you were kind to her, or why you didn't give her more, or why you left so suddenly, now you understand. It wasn't about trying, but about who you were or who you stopped being. When a man stops growing, he starts hiding in her eyes, not because women are superficial, but because attraction is a natural part of maturity. A person who continues to grow remains interesting. A person who declines, no matter how kind or loyal, becomes invisible. This is the absolute truth. A woman's loyalty has nothing to do with fairness, justice, or who deserves what. It's the product of an ancient psychological understanding buried deep in the subconscious. You can resist it, and you can blame it. Or you can understand it and use it to build strong relationships. The truth is simple, even if it's uncomfortable. Women are loyal to power, not sacrifice, to presence, not success, to who you are and what you do. Master this, and loyalty will come easily. Ignore it, and you'll wonder why better isn't enough for you. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to this channel and explore other videos to gain a deeper understanding of psychology and relationships, because most people don't teach you everything, but you still need to understand it. Okay,